We welcome you to the Century Tel Center as tonight the Octagon descends upon Bossier City, Louisiana for the world's greatest mixed martial arts event. This is the Ultimate Fighting Championship, High Impact. The gates of the Octagon are open as we welcome you to the Deep South, Bossier City, Louisiana. Great card tonight. UFC High Impact. Start with the lightweights. Two of the best of the world. Carl Uno, KO'd by BJ Penn last time, takes on Yves Edwards. Watch for Edwards and the devastating knees. And then the Russian renegade, Amar Suloev, against Phil Baroni. And trust me when I tell you, Baroni will be looking for a knockout tonight. His first appearance back in the Octagon since his title fight loss to Jens Pulver. How will BJ Penn react when he takes on Renzo Gracie-trained newcomer Paul Creighton? And then the heavyweights, Rico Rodriguez, whose stand-up has improved drastically against the man known as TK, Tsuyoshi Kosaka, back in the UFC, first time since '99, and our featured matchup tonight for the middleweight title. Undefeated mixed martial artist, Olympic silver medalist, Matt Lindland, against the champion, Brazilian superstar, Murilo Bustamante. Our ways to win. Here inside the Ultimate Fighting Championship rules of the Octagon, 3 judges score the bout. Bout duration, 3 5-minute rounds are for the championship fights. 5 5-minute rounds, the round winner gets 10 points. Opponent 9 or less, based on effective striking, grappling, aggressiveness, and Octagon control. Now fight fans, settle in for a great night of fights featuring the world's best mixed martial artists.
This fight is in the lightweight division, consisting of 3 5-minute rounds. Now entering the Octagon is a Thai boxing and jiu-jitsu expert with a mixed martial arts record of 8, 4, and 1. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 154 pounds. Fighting out of the Woodlands, Texas. Please welcome Yves Edwards.
Yves Edwards set for his second appearance inside the Octagon. His first one didn't go the way he wanted, a split decision loss. But now he's back, he says he's improved. Look out for the knees. He has great submission defense, and tonight, a noticeable and very large reach advantage.
Devastating knees, great reach, he says, I have the power. Let's meet his opponent.
Now entering the octagon is a Jiu-Jitsu expert and a wrestling expert with a mixed martial arts record of 11-4-2. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Kanagawa, Japan. Please welcome Carol Uno.
And we have Carl Uno coming back off a devastating loss to BJ Penn that I really feel did not show his true skills. He has good submission skills, good striking skills, and has fought the best in the division. His opponents are anywhere from Jens Pulver to Dean Thomas and even the legendary Rumina Sato.
That the voice of heavyweight fighter Frank Mir. Mir and Jeff Osborne with me, Mike Goldberg. Tonight we welcome you inside the Century Tel Center as Uno gets prepared to fight inside the octagon for the 4th time in his career. Tail of the tape, lightweight matchup, Carl Uno, Eve Edwards. 27 years old is Uno, 25 is Edwards. We talked about the reach advantage. Uno just 5'7". Edwards is 5'10". There is hero worship.
Any questions?
Edwards considers Uno one of his heroes. They will match up here tonight. Our referee for this matchup, giving some final instructions to Carl Uno, is Big Larry Landless. Lightweights to start us out tonight.
Are you ready?
The gates have been locked.
Are you ready? Let's roll.
And the Ultimate Fighting Championship number 37 is officially underway.
Look at Uno. Different type of strategy.
Oh my. Sure is. Mind games as much as anything, huh?
And Uno is a masterful player of mind games.
Look at him.
Curious to see what he's trying to do here. I don't frustrate his opponent. May do make a few judges angry on the other side of that, though. Could cost him.
That's called, I guess, giving your back standing up.
That redefines giving your back, I suppose. It's almost as if he's setting up for some type of back kick, but I have a feeling that's not what he's doing because he's showing it so much. Edwards just trying to be patient here. Uno trying to get him mentally frustrated early. Trying to make him do something stupid.
Look at that. Uno has a lightning fast shot. But Edwards notorious for sprawling. Minnie said he couldn't get that sprawl off on Uno.
Now Uno known for that great single leg takedown. Went for it there. Edwards with the long limbs was able to kick the feet out quickly.
He's got the forearm through. I doubt he has the choke.
Looks more or less like Uno's trying to work what we call a Peterson in wrestling. He's going to go ahead and control the right tricep. And if he's doing what I think he's going to try to do, his right hand will come across and knee tap Eve Edwards' right leg to knock him over.
Now many believe this fight would go at about 110 miles an hour for the entire 15 minutes. Edwards wants the stand-up game. Uno wants the grounds game. You'll be able to score tonight's fights online at www.ufc.tv.
Another factor coming in play in this fight. This is the first time Edwards has fought at 155 as they go back to the feet. And there's a nice knee. Edwards, one to the body.
First fight at 155 inside the octagon for Edwards. He made his debut in the welterweight division when he was defeated by Matt Serra, losing a split decision.
Just the body lock.
Uno's last matchup lasted only seconds. The devastating knockout courtesy of BJ Penn.
Uno does have the body lock locked. He's looking for a leg trip. Definitely trying to get this fight to the ground.
Now, undoubtedly Uno's best showing was the one at the Meadowlands just about a year ago when he defeated Fabiano Iha.
Edwards, if given the right opponent, look at those knees to the inside of Eve Edwards. Oh! It hits the ground in a place where Uno probably will be uncomfortable. Edwards is moving him towards the fence. And we've said it many times, the octagon can be used as a weapon.
Close guard now. Uno has his opponent Edwards.
Uno working the half guard, definitely looking like he wants to try to get the full guard back. Staying safe though, playing it smart. He has double underhooks, controlling the arms of his opponent, trying to avoid any big elbows coming from on top.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Now Uno likes the chokes and other submissions. Japanese fighter with the great quickness and athleticism.
Edwards trying to be cautious, throwing a nice snapping right down. He almost got the leg through and past the guard. Look at Uno.
Underneath the back door, he's going for his back.
And there's a position you don't see often, and a nice reversal.
Very nice sweep.
So now let's see how Uno works from the top. First of 3 scheduled rounds, 5 minutes each. Side mount position now for Carl Uno.
Carl Uno past the guard, and you can see he's not actually in the half guard. He's using that position there, bringing his left leg underneath and over Eves to go ahead and actually establish a mount. He's going to use that as a controlling position to go ahead and make sure that Eves cannot reestablish the guard and pull him back.
Uno trying to stay busy here, as Edwards in danger of beating a knee, but he protected the right attempted shot by Uno there. 15 seconds remains in the round, and Edwards, remember, is known to have devastating knees. Combinations by Edwards, trying to leave an impression in the judges' minds here at the end of round number 1.
Definitely trying to steal the round there with that flurry. Neither fighter's really done a lot this round, and that might just have won it in the favor of Eves.
Still on the other side. Sit. Deep breath. Deep breath. Take some water. Give me his mouthpiece. Okay, man, you can get this guy. Okay, to be smart on the ground like you've been doing.
Who's back?
This time to unload. All right, and don't crowd your punches. Stay on the end. Stay on the end. Stay on your on the end of your shots, and he's in deep shit. Okay.
Here we're going to see the Carl Uno sweep. You can see his right arm dug underneath. He's throwing Edwards over the top, going for his back. The sweep actually looks like it was a secondary position. You can see he didn't get the back. Edwards blocked with the wizard. Uno brought him over the top for the sweep.
Yeah, check it out here. This is where Edwards is known. Those vicious combinations. He'll throw 4, 5, 6 in a row until he connects. Great hip movement, both keeping the hips away from their opponent.
Now he trains with Lewis Wood, 6th ranked WBA featherweight. So he's got some strong boxing ability, does Edwards. Let's see if he can utilize it to his advantage here as we get set to begin round 2.
Are you ready? Let's roll.
Will Uno come out unorthodoxly? Yes, that side showing, if you will, again.
I wonder if Edwards, if he threw a big left kick, could knock his feet out completely out from underneath him. I think Uno's just trying to bait him. Nice sprawl by Edwards.
And Uno's not showing much of his body, which can be hit when he's got just the side showing towards Eve Edwards, because Edwards definitely wants to go toe-to-toe here, Frank.
Definitely wants to do that. I think that's Uno's plan up there. Don't give him a figure he's seen every day in training. Turn to the side. Give him something awkward. Give him something to think about besides landing punches on my face.
And because of that, as it was in round 1, in round 2, it goes quickly to the ground again.
Right where Uno would like to be. Eves is also an accomplished grappler. He's definitely learning how to do so, but his strengths are definitely standing up. Uno realizes this and is going to take him down to the ground.
Now Edwards is set on oftentimes. Carl Uno's one of my 6 favorite fighters in the world, one of my heroes. And some had wondered if he'd be able to get over that almost hero worship of being inside the octagon against Carl Uno and be able to play his game to the highest level.
Let's go, Carl. Let's go. Pick it up.
Edwards did at the end of round 1 when he threw combinations.
This could be a problem for Edwards. Uno is past the guard, going for a kimura or an armbar. We'll see what he hits. Definitely in a controlling position. Edwards definitely trying to block his left arm from underneath. Here we go, the Kimura.
Oh,
does he have it? Does he have it?
No, he's tucked inside.
Edwards was able to spin with it, Jeff.
Edwards is still in trouble. Uno has blocked his ability to come all the way over the top by trapping the arms. If Uno can pull the arm out, he may be able to finish it.
Trying to extend the body to place more pressure, utilizing the leverage. Carl Uno of his own body. Edwards got the arm out, and now he got his head up. Fought through the submission attempts.
Oh, look out!
Trying to take Uno's back, and he does!
Uno, to his credit, this guy never ceases to amaze me. Can take it to you, look like he's in big trouble, and spin it back around in his favor.
I really feel that was a mistake by Eames. He had an opportunity to stand up and back away from Uno's strength. Submissions on the ground. Got a little overconfident there, decided to sink the hooks, and being the less of the ground player of the two is now on his back.
Uno with a couple of right forearm shots. The longer this goes, I would favor Carl Uno. But if it is stood up more and more, it goes to Yves Edwards.
And that's what Larry Landless is saying. He's slamming his hand on the mat, our referee, to say, hey guys, we got to keep it busy on the ground or I'm going to stand it up.
If I was Edwards at this point, I would make sure it doesn't stay too busy. Hold on, tie the hands up, stand me up. Let me throw my punches. Let me drive in my knees.
There's a right, and they're up anyway. Showing just the side view again.
There we go with the left look, as you were saying, Joe.
If he can work that, if Uno points the posterior again, he could be completely off balance, not squared up properly with his opponent.
Uno tried to come with the left there. Oh, an uppercut, and there's the knee. That connected, single leg by Carl Uno, and he has it again. Tremendous single leg.
Quick and tight, very impressive single leg.
Give Yves Edwards 1 second with those vicious uppercuts. You start fending off the uppercuts and then come the knees. Uno's playing a great game, keeping away once he feels like he's in trouble.
Definitely trying to avoid the strings of Yves Edwards by going to the ground as fast as he can. But as you can see, he didn't blindly dive into Yves Edwards either. He waited for the right opportunity. The strikes were coming and sunk underneath to take him down.
Under a minute remains in round number 2. Lightweight matchup, Yves Edwards in the dark shorts, Carl Uno in the white shorts.
Stop, let's go on our feet.
Back on the feet. The fight will come. Landless steps in.
This could be an opportunity for Edwards to win back this round.
He's showing more of his body now, guys. A more orthodox look, if you will. Keeps circling the ring. There's a good kick. Edwards shakes it off, picks up the leg to avoid taking the extreme brunt of the punishment.
We're definitely going to see now if Yves Edwards comes out a little frustrated. He hasn't worked what he wanted to do. Uno is definitely... Oh, we got Carlos Newton.
Oh.
It was close. Edwards came in. He had the head of Carl Uno, but the time had expired.
Nice way to end the round on behalf of Edwards, though.
Both times, and you know this is an experienced fighter, Frank, both times Edwards makes a statement at the end of the round.
Very smart. You've seen that with Muhammad Ali later in his years of his career. He told people, I won the first 30 seconds of the round, won the second 30 seconds of the round.
ちょっと高さ持てるこれ。はい。じゃあちょっと一回大きくしてやるか。OK。
Here we see Uno pulling out for the Kimura. Very tight. It looks like he almost had it there. Edwards, being a warrior, definitely getting up and covering his hand. By covering his hand with his left hip, he stopped the hand from being able to progress forward, and it means keeping him from being submitted.
And here's the end of the round with just about 4 seconds left. Edwards, there you see him pushing the hips forward. Breaks at the buzzer and ends it that way.
A book out of Newton's strategy there, huh?
You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's roll.
Here we go, third and final round. close fight right now. Edwards with the statements both times late. Majority of the fight, though, has been taking place down on the mat.
Deep leg kick by Edwards.
Edwards again. Just a little tap to try to throw Uno off a bit. Uno with a straight right. Edwards just missed. Uno ducked underneath the kick again.
Oh, back with the hooks in.
Again, I feel this might be a mistake, though, for Edwards. He was throwing strikes, had Uno scared. Why not back out and continue to do your strong point? Why jump in and sink the hooks on a man you know is better at the submission game? Even if not, you're the better striker. Why give the guy a window of opportunity to stay in this game? The only opportunity Uno has is on the ground.
So just because he ducks under, Frank and Jeff, they're looking for it again.
Armbar coming up, folks. Looked like Uno sucked the elbow through. He's not going to get the leverage to get the armbar. He's keeping him compressed down.
No, at this point, it's not twisted just right. Edwards is not going to be able to finish it at this point. Edwards might be looking for a sweep. No, pull back to the full guard.
So back to the point that you had made before that submission attempt, Frank. Just because Uno goes down to slide underneath the punch doesn't mean you have to jump on top of him. Just stand on your feet, wait for him to come back up.
Definitely. You're the superior striker. Why do I want to wrestle with you? By no means could Edwards, if Uno were to stand with Edwards, that's Edwards' advantage. Not on the ground. He's not going to find his advantage. So jumping in and sinking the hooks was just, in my opinion, was not a good move. I would have backed out and waited my opponent up.
Restart this, let's go.
Case out as Uno hitting on Eve Edwards. He tried to pick it up, actually. He's also attempting to control the hands of Carl Uno.
This is a very, very explosive weight division. I enjoy watching the 155s, where it's boxing as the heavyweights, pro wrestling, although entertainment as the heavyweights. These guys lay it on the line.
Uno definitely looking for the far arm again. The same move he hit earlier in round one. Taking the back. There's the hooks. This is not a good position for Edwards to be in.
This is where many said Uno could finish Edwards, as if he got his back and laid the choke in.
Edwards trying to avoid that particular fate. His corner saying throw him down.
Once again, a very unique situation you rarely, if ever, see.
Unless it's a fight involving Carl Uno.
Yeah.
Uno's rear naked choke is very effective. He took out and dispatched Ruben Asado, submission genius with the rear naked choke.
And look at Edwards.
Stayed patient there and worked his way through it. Under 2 minutes remains in this fight. This fight truly defines chess match.
This is the ultimate game of physical chess. Now Edwards almost getting the back of Uno, a seesaw battle.
Look for Uno to pull his right out arm and across to pull back the guard.
Uno in the closed guard now open. Habib Edwards. Under 90 seconds now on the clock.
I'd like to point out that Uno has knocked people out from the guard. He was in Fabiana Iha's guard, landing a victory in there through a knockout.
A lot of people say Uno does not possess knockout power. We saw that with Iha. Can he do it to Edwards? Edwards, another one of those guys with a heavy, heavy steel chin, as people like to call it. As Uno
1 minute left. Let's go.
maintaining his dominant position and side control. Going for that arm again, the left arm of Eve Edwards.
Let's see if he's a little more patient about pulling it off and making sure that Edwards doesn't reverse.
Uno really trying to go for it here. 40 seconds remain.
That's exactly what Edwards has to do. He has to force his far shoulder back to the mat to escape that move.
And he does. Put on their feet. Timeout. They'll replace the mouthpiece.
Watch this.
It gets washed and they go. And Edwards needs to explode.
Right here. Right there.
Uno knows that, though.
Yo, yo.
This is Eve Edwards' big opportunity with under a minute remaining. About 30 seconds now. Combinations. Uno goes down. Force him to get up again, Frank, right?
That's what I say, but at this point, it wasn't really his choice. It was a good shot timed at the right opportunity to take him down. Edwards didn't have much of a choice there in that situation to go to the ground.
10 seconds!
Final 10 seconds of the round.
Definitely where Uno wants to finish it. No chances to be taken if he keeps it on the ground. Don't let Edwards stand up.
Good matchup, goes the distance. And we will render a judge's decision in our first fight of the night.
Steve Edwards with that trademark smiley face
Take a nice back.
on his trunks. Edwards, a definite great spokesman for the sport. Two of the nicest guys you will ever encounter are up there in this ring right now, and I'd hate to be a judge on this.
It's a close one. Edwards leaving those Muhammad Ali-like impressions at the end of round 1 and round 2. Will it be enough, though, to defeat Carl Uno?
I really feel, though, that the game that was played these last 3 rounds was that of Uno. He controlled the pace. The fight stayed where he wanted it to stay. And the only time Edwards was effective was in tiny glimpses. Other than that, it looked like Uno really controlled the match from the opening bell until the closing in.
The judges have rendered their decision, and we will see who comes away with a victory. Let's go upstairs. Veteran voice of the Octagon. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Marcos Rosales scores it 29-28 Uno. Judge Cecil People scores it 30-29 Uno. And Judge Jeff Mullins scores it 29-28, winner by unanimous decision, Carol Uno.
Unanimous decision goes the way of Carl Uno. And so Uno victorious in his matchup against Yves Edwards. And as Frank pointed out, the fight truly took place in the world that Uno, on most occasions, is able to dominate. And he did indeed the ground game there. Jeff, he got the fight to where he wanted it to be.
Yes, he did, a close one, but Uno pulling it out, getting the dominance, more dominant positions, great submission attempts, and he goes home with a victory in his pocket tonight.
So Carl Uno defeats Yves Edwards. UFC 37 is brought to you by Gordon Bierce Brewing Company, beer like it ought to be. By Century Tel Center in Bossier City, Louisiana. And by Crave Entertainment, publishers of UFC video games for the Xbox video game system from Microsoft. And coming this June for the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system and Nintendo GameCube system. So a nice start inside the Century Tel Center. Nice to be back in the Deep South. Here with the Octagon gates open and the Ultimate Fighting Championship taking place for our fans around the world. Hi again, everybody. Mike Goldberg, glad to be with you here for UFC High Impact. Remember, it was UFC 35 when Murilo Bustamante truly arrived. It was that night that the 7-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu national champion showed the depth of his talents because he scored a knockout against Dave Mene. Mene was the champion until that night. Now the belt belongs to Murilo Bustamante, and tonight, Bustamante will attempt to defend his title for the first time. As always, one of my partners, Jeff Osborne. And Jeff, you look at Murilo Bustamante, it was not a shock that he defeated Mene, but it was an extreme surprise in the fashion in which he did.
Yeah, no one ever expected Murilo to stand up and strike with a guy like Mene. No one ever expected it against Chuck Liddell, but he did so. And he captured that with a knockout. For a guy who says he's 100% Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I think there's a percentage he is not telling us about. And tonight, he has a tough task. We have an old rivalry of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu versus American wrestling.
Well, Bustamante excelled as a boxer during his youth and has shown those boxing skills inside the octagon. As I mentioned on the top of the show, it's a pleasure to welcome in heavyweight fighter Frank Mir to our broadcast team tonight. And Frank, you look at Matt Lindland, of course, he's the Olympic silver medalist. He is undefeated in mixed martial arts. What impresses you most about Matt Lindland?
You know, Matt Lindland has the will to win, the same characteristic of that of Randy Couture, his teammate. He comes in to fight. I mean, he's undefeated. Another thing that I really feel is going to give a hard time to Bustamante is the ability of his wrestling, the clinch. I feel that Lindland was definitely going to control the clinch and control whether he wants the fight to be on top or if he wants the fight to be on the ground.
Well, there's certainly motivation for that man. Matt Lindland, twice in his life he has finished second at the World Championships and, of course, at the Olympic Games in Sydney, Australia in 2000. Both times in wrestling, losing by a single point. So tonight is the opportunity that Lindland once again. Will the third time be a charm? Will he be a world champion for the first time? Or will Murillo Bustamante have the opportunity to defend his title? Good start to the night and more action coming your way here from Louisiana.
This fight is in the middleweight division, consisting of 3 5-minute rounds. Now entering the octagon is a kickboxing expert with a mixed martial arts record of 36, 5-0. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 184 pounds. Fighting out of St. Petersburg, Russia. Please welcome Suloev.
And this is one that everyone has been talking about since yesterday, when that man, Amar, has had some exchanges of words inside this octagon during some warm-ups. A heavy hitter, good ground skills, and as he displayed against Chuck Liddell, a great chin. He has dropped down to where he belongs in the 185-pound division.
Amar Suloev, tons of experience, as this will be his 42nd mixed martial arts fight. The Russian set to take on the man known as the New York Badass.
Now entering the octagon is a boxing and wrestling expert. He holds a mixed martial arts record of 4-1-0. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 184 pounds. Fighting out of Long Island, New York. Please welcome the New York Badass, Bill Baroni.
We have Phil Baroni, an All-American wrestler who likes to throw leather. He will throw bombs. I personally trained with Phil, and I can tell you one thing about him. He's going to bring intensity to this match. There is nothing but 100% straight-ahead intensity involved in his training and his mindset. See some exciting things happen in this match.
When asked to describe himself in 3 words, as a person, he said honest, compassionate, hardworking. As a fighter, tough, tenacious, and all heart. Phil Baroni, Amar Suloev. Tail of the tape looks like this. Just 1 year separates the 2 fighters. Everything else is absolutely even. Baroni now fighting with the Las Vegas Combat Club, as Frank talked about. It has been reported he is training like he has never trained before.
I can definitely attest to that ability. This guy, to give him a day off, we have to lock the gym door and make sure we don't show up.
Baroni set to go. Our referee, Big John McCarthy.
Right, here we go, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on, come on.
Baroni definitely wants to make a statement here tonight.
He made a lot of statements yesterday as the 2 camps kind of exchanged words. More Baroni, got Gilbert Ivel involved, some of the others. Baroni, lightning fast, lefts and rights.
He has the potential to make a statement vocally pretty much all his waking hours. Not afraid to voice his opinion, not afraid to be heard. He wants to be heard in different ways, though. And he wants to be considered one of the top fighters in the world. He's taking on a very intelligent and experienced fighter here in Suloev.
Definitely that. Suloev is nobody to be overlooked. Extremely canny, very savvy fighter. Lots of experience.
Baroni trying to step in. Suloev steps back.
Baroni smiling at him. A lot of taunting by Phil Baroni. And we said earlier today, Suloev definitely has an advantage in the kick department.
Suloev has knockout power. He still feels his hands are his most dangerous weapons. The feet and the legs, as you talked about. He's got that kickboxing experience. This one may stay right where it is for the majority of the time, in which it's scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Baroni has been throwing leg kicks. That's twice in this fight. He landed the first. Look at Suloev coming in with a 1-2.
And the high kick, he slipped, and it was blocked by Phil Baroni. Suloev, flying knee. And Baroni clinches on, and there's a right that connects. A high kick again. Suloev pushing the pace now. And Baroni grabs on. Another knee, and that's a foul. McCarthy steps in. Baroni trying to push through. Timeout called.
Illegal move stunned Baroni. You can see that. He was still trying to engage the fight.
He cannot knee on the ground. He needs to their head.
Cannot knee a downed opponent.
He cannot knee to the ground.
That was blatant.
He was to the ground. It's time. Get your butt back to your corner. We have one foul. One foul on Suloev. Knee to the head on the ground. One foul.
So the foul has been assessed.
Get over here. You all right to go? Are you okay to go? Talk to me right now. You want another minute?
Another minute. Don't stop the fight.
You want another time? You need time to continue. Here we go.
Phil Baroni took a little moment. He said, no, I'm good. That knee caught him. That knee stunned him.
I can't believe Baroni came back from that knee. Look at the exchanges here.
And down goes Baroni.
A beautiful throw by Amar. Going for the armbar. Baroni gets up.
And now Baroni raining down rights.
Nice guard pass. A testament to good jiu-jitsu training. Look at him avoid that armbar.
Training with your coach, Ricardo Perez in Vegas now.
A little biased on my side.
Explosive.
The one thing I can't say about Baroni, that proved the guy has a chin. He took a knee straight to the face.
He told me yesterday, as soon as I get past tomorrow, I want a rematch with Lindland. I will show you the real Phil Baroni this time. I'm for real, I've been training, and I am ready.
He says he's in 10 times better shape than he was in the Lindland fight.
And look at the right.
He's showing the rights now. Raining it down.
He is out.
He stopped the fight. Phil Baroni is victorious. Big John McCarthy stops the fight. And Baroni has knocked out Amar Suloev. He is animated, to say the least.
And Amar took right after right after right after right, and his hands dropped. A great stoppage. And Baroni did exactly what he said he was going to do.
That's a lot of heart. A lot of people in the same situation, hit with an illegal move that would have knocked out just about anybody in the world, and asked, do you want to continue the fight? Very well the possibility that it's a no contest at this point. Given a way to back out, chose to continue on. Didn't even take his minute rest, and he was allowed it to recover. He said, no, I'm back in there.
You know, it's interesting because there was uncertainty in his voice there, Frank. We could see it, we could hear it. There was uncertainty in his eyes. And now the man whose eyes are just halfway open are the eyes of Amar Suloev. Baroni really fought through, and he reigns victorious.
And Suloev's eye cut badly, so a lot of swelling. Looked like he got cut on the cauliflower ear as well. Take a look back. And what transpired? Here is that knee. 3
Bam.
points down on the ground. That was blatant. And Baroni takes the knee and drives forward.
And he was trying to drive through John McCarthy there, and then the end of the fight.
Here we go, Baroni on top. Very powerful human being. Here he is in the half guard, establishing the position, raining down the heavy hands that he has. Look at the power. The foot is up, driving in. Hammering, hammering.
Great stoppage by McCarthy.
Yeah, he's the best in the business.
The hands dropped and it was all over.
Man, oh man. Baroni fought through adversity. Could have taken more time to regain his composure. Instead, he dominates the fight and defeats Samar Suloev. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has stopped this bout due to a knockout at 2 minutes, 55 seconds of the very first round. For the winner, the New York Badass, Phil Baroni.
What do you think about that, Frank?
Very impressed. I told you, intensity. If anything, Baroni proved right there was intensity. Intensity. He got on top. There was no hesitation, no feeling my opponent out. I'm going to rip your head off. And that's the attitude Baroni brings in every breath that he draws.
Well, hopefully he won't rip Ryan Bennett's head off. Ryan, careful what you ask him.
Well, yeah, you got that right. I got to watch my words talking with Phil Baroni. Phil, first off, great fight. You took some big shots. You took that knee, and it looked like you were out for a second, but you came back. You came right back.
I wasn't hurt, bro. It was a legal knee. I just went to look at the ref. I was fine. I took no big shots. No big shots. He took the big shots tonight. Big shots.
Phil, you talked a lot. Was there bad blood going in this thing? Because you talked a lot before this fight.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad blood. I had something to prove out here. And I said, I'm the best 185-pounder in the world. Line him up and I knock him down.
Phil Baroni shows those big rights. He wins tonight. Big win. Congratulations, Phil. Mike, back to you.
I want to dedicate this fight to all the people that stuck by me when the chips were down and didn't leave my side and helped me get through this. I had a real trying time, and I worked real hard for this. I just want to thank everybody. Ricardo, Don, Frank, One Kick, my father, my family, my girl. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Phil.
All right, Phil Baroni showing some honesty and compassion there. Showed some dangerous power here.
Baroni talks the talk. He didn't walk this time. He ran through Amar in impressive fashion.
That he did. I can attest to his power. I roll with this guy. I'm a heavyweight. He's a middleweight. And it doesn't make a difference. It's a battle in the gym. The guy is a powerful, explosive, and quick human being.
Now the teenage national champion in bodybuilding, victorious. Next time we see you, it'll be in the UK.
First round knockout.
The last time they met, a slam to the mat echoed throughout the crowd, and as it happened, the title changed hands. Now they're back, one for vengeance, one to prove himself again. Carlos the Ronin Newton versus Matt Hughes for the Ultimate Fighting Championship welterweight title. Saturday, July 13th, the brawl at the Hall from London, bloody London, England. It's a high-voltage rematch of two of the strongest competitors in mixed martial arts fighting. Newton versus Hughes for the UFC welterweight championship. Two Ultimate Fighters, one score to settle. Carlos Newton versus Matt Hughes, the brawl at the Hall for the Ultimate Fighting Championship welterweight title on pay-per-view, Saturday, July 13th. Now that will be a wonderful experience to take the Octagon to the Royal Albert Hall in London, England, as the UFC goes to the UK for the first time ever. Carlos Newton and Matt Hughes, the headliner that evening, Saturday, July 13th on pay-per-view. We should also mention tonight is a UFC first, as our show is airing live in Japan on the WOW Network. So we welcome in our Japanese fight fans tonight, and we will want to be welcomed in England in July.
This fight is in the lightweight division, consisting of 3 5-minute rounds. Now entering the octagon is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert with a mixed martial arts record of 5-0-0. standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 154 pounds. Fighting out of Manhattan, New York, please welcome Paul Creighton.
And we have Paul Creighton as a wrestling background. In fact, he was the Junior Olympic National Champion in wrestling. He will be able to do very good jiu-jitsu tonight. He is a student under Renzo Gracie, which he will be using tonight in his match.
Saw Paul Creighton in the locker room prior to this, his UFC debut. I said, could they give you a tougher start? And it's like, you know, the olden days, going to Lambeau Field in mid-December to play Lombardi's Packers. And he kind of smiled. He was loose. He said, I'm ready, I'm excited, and I will welcome this opportunity to fight this man.
Now entering the octagon is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert with a mixed martial arts record of 4-1-0. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Wainaku, Hilo, Hawaii. Please welcome the Prodigy, BJ Penn.
And tell me he doesn't look ready. Coming off of a decision loss, he looks like a renewed BJ Penn, a jiu-jitsu world champion, explosive striker as we've seen. And he is known for his intensity, but Renzo Gracie does not put his stamp of approval on just anyone. Creighton is a formidable opponent. Can the Prodigy take him down? That remains to be seen.
BJ Penn and Paul Creighton. Creighton out of the Gracie camp. Penn, a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the most decorated Jiu-Jitsu athlete in America. Creighton is actually 31 years old and 3 inches shorter than BJ Penn. One of the few men in the world to be a fighter and 3 inches shorter than BJ Penn. The question will be the mindset of BJ Penn. Our referee is Larry Landless.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's roll.
Ask BJ, how was it initially after the loss? Toughest time of my life. But he had a look in his eye that told me he has passed it, mentally and physically.
Creighton is known for his big slams, big takedowns. Oh, look at Penn. Nice underhook, but Creighton driving him into the fence.
Creighton started training with the Renzo Gracie team back in '96. Good wrestling background, as Frank talked about. BJ Penn, of course, other than his matchup against Jens Palmer, has always made quick work of his opponents. In fact, BJ stayed in Hawaii to train for this fight, not returning to the state of California to train with Frank Shamrock. So a trying time in BJ Penn's life, but they always say failure is the greatest time of learning, or the time in which you quit.
4 minutes left. 4 minutes
Penn wants to reestablish himself as a dominant force here in the lightweight division.
Look at Creighton. He's quick to grab the legs, quick to take his opponent down.
In this situation, it might not be the best thought to want to be inside BJ Penn's guard. But then again, a lot of people don't want to stand up with BJ Penn.
Creighton persistent on getting that single leg. A small cut on the forehead.
Yep. Purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Renzo Gracie.
And now we'll see the guard work of Paul Creighton.
I'm really going to see that I feel that BJ's going to pass the guard fairly quickly here.
Now, Creighton feels he's the strongest in his game, not the strongest of the two, per se, but he said the strongest part of his game is on the ground. Penn has shown the knockout power, but of course he's so decorated as a jiu-jitsu practitioner that we know he's comfortable there too. It looks like he wants to bring it back up here though, or at least find a dominant position down low, Frank.
Definitely. For a minute I thought maybe he was going to back up and go into his striking, but he decided to go ahead and work his jiu-jitsu. He stayed in close and now attempting to go ahead and pass the guard.
Okay, use it. Let's go. Use it.
You know, one thing I've been asked, what is the greatest example of being the best fighter? To me, the best fighter is a guy who can take a loss and come back stronger than ever. And Penn could be that fighter tonight.
Now, we talked about Josh Barnett proving more in his loss to Pedro Hizzo early in his career than maybe some of his other early victories. And Barnett, of course, recently defeating Randy Couture. So the same could be learned tonight about BJ Penn.
Good right high knee by Penn, connecting again to the head.
Let go fast, BJ, turn your head around.
We had talked a lot before the title fight opportunity that, BJ's opportunity against Palmer was like when Tito Ortiz first took on Frank Shamrock. Wasn't too quick, wasn't too early, because Tito had rolled through opponents, as had BJ. Didn't quite understand the whole game. Well, now he's been defeated. And I'm going to guess he understands it more than he ever did before.
Definitely. That loss that Tito Ortiz experienced actually was probably the worst nightmare for most of Tito Ortiz's opponents. After that fight, Tito was a different man. I mean, he was a talented athlete before that, and after that, he's a monster. He's rolling through people now better than he ever did before.
Tito, of course, coming off the knee injury. He is in attendance tonight. The recovery process going well, he told me, so I know fight fans anxious to see Tito Ortiz back in the octagon.
We spoke of the explosiveness. Look at that, single leg.
Single leg, but Penn delivering some rights during that takedown attempt.
He has not been able to get a clean. Oh,
there it is, finally.
1 minute!
But he ate something on the way down.
1 minute.
Half guard position. Man, this weight division, you have Dean Thomas, who's also healing an injury. Matt Serra, BJ Penn, Creighton. We just saw Uno.
Rumors of a Ruben Asado possibly even joining the mix.
Title is vacant, present day. Everyone a contender, trying to move up to the top of that ladder. And Penn wanting to utilize the knees. He looks over to his corner with under 30 seconds remaining.
Penn looking very much in control. But look at his face. We didn't think he was in a fight right now.
Yeah.
Very composed.
Last time it was a question if he could go 5 rounds, and he did so. And now he approaches the end of the first.
Watch his knees, guys.
Up against the fence with Creighton.
Let it go.
Throwing some blows.
Yeah, and this one is scheduled for only 3 5-minute rounds. And Penn said after going the distance the last time, he said to one of the UFC vice presidents, our matchmaker Joe Silva, many times, hey, 5 rounds wasn't so bad. 5 rounds wasn't so bad. So mentally, he learned a bit about himself that night as we listened into his corner.
Hey, very nice, okay? Very nice work. Okay, you bring the stand up a little bit. You remember, you can kick, BJ. When he sits outside, just outside of punching range, you kick, okay? Okay? Good. Beautiful fight. Don't wait.
Actually, it might have been the fence that opened the cut on the forehead of Paul Creighton. See if we can see it get dragged here. Yeah, there it is. Ouch.
Lucky score for BJ Penn.
Yeah.
To his advantage. The cut made it look like he actually did a blow.
Good, okay?
Great work by our camera crew, our production crew here. Octagon gates open, beautiful sights throughout Bossier City, Louisiana. UFC High Impact. Such great fans of this sport of mixed martial arts here in the southern part of the U.S. And always gracious hosts.
Are you ready? Let's roll.
Round 2.
We talked about what does Creighton have to lose with this fight.
Right.
He has everything to gain, nothing to lose. Taking this fight on short notice. And Penn launching the knees in again.
Absolutely right about Paul having nothing to lose. Sometimes early in your career, just going the distance with the champ is a great accomplishment in itself, especially a champion of the caliber of Penn.
I think you may know something about that. Your first time in the octagon.
Exactly.
You had said to us this morning you were more nervous for your second fight than you were your first.
Very rightfully so. My very first fight was against a black belt jiu-jitsu world champion. I was by no means considered a favorite in that fight. Coming out and submitting him so quickly. My second fight, actually, the reason I was more nervous was I wanted to prove to everybody it wasn't a fluke. Anybody can get lucky once, twice, a little more convincing, and I look to do a third time.
You'll have that chance coming up at the Royal Albert Hall. But the crowd will be against you that night. You take on Ian Freeman from Sunderland, England. Frank Mir, nice enough to join us in the broadcast booth tonight. Jeff Osborne, Mike Goldberg, Ryan Bennett, glad to be with you. As B.J. Penn looks to up his record to 4-1 in the UFC.
During the break, Penn's corner said, "You can kick, BJ, you can kick." He went high there. Almost backfired on him, but Penn has been dominant thus far.
Well, we've gone to the second round again for B.J. Penn. After finishing Joey Gilbert in just under 5 minutes. Dean Thomas in 2 minutes and 42 seconds, and Caro Uno in 11 seconds. And now Penn connects with the right. Penn just seems to be composed, almost as if he's letting the fight come to him, as opposed to always continuously forcing the action.
He has a lot of confidence in the ability that he knows now if he goes and gets taken down, he's really not out of his element. On his back, he's just as dangerous standing up. So here he might be showing a little bit lack of a wrestling technique, but he's landing blows and really getting in a lot of shots there, cutting up the face of Paul.
Let's go.
And a stand-up called. Some swelling under the left eye of Creighton.
Creighton was extremely relaxed inside his locker room before the fight. In fact, he was looking at tonight's UFC official program. Trying to see how well his picture turned out. But he took a knee there and he goes down. Of course, he wants this fight downstairs, and Penn won't adhere to it. At least it doesn't seem right now. Couple of kicks to the legs, those are okay.
If you're watching the sport for the first time and yelling at your TV screen to get up, there's a safe way to get up, and there's a wrong way to get up. He's got to create distance and pop back up to his feet, or he could land, Penn could hit him with a kick or a big shot.
Penn got the mount.
Yes, he does. And now he's going to try to tee off.
Bad place.
Yeah. Creighton purely defensive here. Penn left, right. And it stopped. It's over. B.J. Penn gets the referee stoppage, and he has defeated Paul Creighton. He waited patiently, took his opportunity to get full mount, and finished off Paul Creighton.
BJ, you are great. Great mutual respect. Two great jiu-jitsu players. And a wrestling background as well for both, but it played into the hands of B.J. Penn.
Impressive guard pass. Went straight from passing one knee.
I
Go
love
ahead
this
and go
game.
for a full mount. Very dangerous place to be underneath B.J. Penn.
He's extremely patient and composed, and he took advantage here.
Here we have B.J. passing the knee. He was already halfway through the guard, got the mount, realizes his opponent, he has a height advantage, holds a tight mount, just rains down punches, going for damage. A lot of people might feel that maybe Paul should have extended his hand to block a punch, but in doing so, he'd have opened himself up for a submission. Not a lot you can do from down there.
Now, the fight had gone to a point where Creighton could not intelligently defend himself, and he loses for the first time, Paul Creighton, in his mixed martial arts career. Let's check in with Bruce Buffer, the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has stopped this contest at 3 minutes, 22 seconds of the second round. For the winner, the Prodigy, B.J. Penn.
The best fighter in the world.
He's back.
I love this game.
I love this game.
Came back off that loss.
It's tough, man.
Probably played a mental game with himself, questioning himself, but now he's back.
I love this
And
game,
who is
baby.
his next opponent?
Good fight, man.
Now B.J. Penn answered many
fighter in the
questions
world.
about his ability to
Wasn't
fight
the
through
real me last
adversity.
time.
He's upstairs with Ryan Bennett.
BJ Penn is back, folks. BJ, just take us through that fight. You were very patient and got a big W. It's got to feel good to get back on the winning side, my man.
I'm a different fighter now, you know. I know how to fight for a long time. I'm an experienced fighter. I'm the best fighter in the world. James Pulver, I want to do it in Vegas. Contract negotiations, I put a part of my purse or my whole purse. I want it on, James Pulver. That's all.
BJ, what was the biggest thing that you learned from that fight? What was the biggest thing that you learned in that?
The Jens Pulver fight, I learned how it is under pressure from mostly myself and just everything about training. We can talk here for an hour about it.
Take me through this fight now. You were very patient. First round, you just kind of took your time. The second round, tell me how you got to the point to get on the mountain.
This is my corner man. He won the corner man contest. He's a great guy to have in your corner. Look, I won tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, the second round, I knew. My sponsors, Rockstar, Novo Yao, American Kickboxing Academy. Everybody in Hilo, I love you guys. All the sponsors on my back, everybody in Hilo who sponsored me. Okay, the second round, I was just gonna put it away. It's taking my time too much. I want to get out of here, leave here.
BJ Penn's back, Mike. Let's go back to you.
Ryan, thank you very much. BJ Penn getting many things in his time with Ryan Bennett. Of course, he introduced to you our cornerman for the day contest winner, Jesse Munoz. Jesse in the victorious corner here. We congratulate Jesse Munoz. I hope he has enjoyed the experience. Our contest continues, and a lucky winner will have the opportunity to travel to London, England for the Brawl at the Hall UFC Cornerman for a Day contest, won on this evening by Jesse Munoz. To log on, go to the website www.ufc.tv, Cornerman for a Day, put your name in, and you could be the lucky winner, as Jesse Munoz was tonight. You'll be a lucky winner too on Father's Day. Special presentation from your friends here at the UFC.
He made the Octagon legendary as a proving ground for fighting ability. In return, it made him a legend. Ultimate Fighting Championship present Legends of the Octagon. Ultimate Royce Gracie on pay-per-view. Ultimate Fighting Championship's first champion, Royce Gracie. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu's toughest competitor. A name synonymous with champion. One of the toughest athletes to ever compete in mixed martial arts fighting. UFC three-time champion, Royce Gracie. Legends of the Octagon on pay-per-view. Monday, June 16th.
Sunday, June 16th, Royce Gracie and I sit down and talk about what was one of the greatest rivalries in UFC history, Gracie and Ken Shamrock. That time comes on the UFC Legends presentation, Ultimate Royce Gracie, coming to you on Father's Day.
This fight is in the heavyweight division, consisting of 3 5-minute rounds. Now entering the octagon is a submission fighting expert with a mixed martial arts record of 3-2-0. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 222 pounds. Fighting out of Kosaka, Japan. Please welcome Tsuyoshi Kosaka!
And we have Tsuyoshi Kosaka, better known as TK. Well-versed in submissions, great endurance, excellent throws. He's even thrown people like Randy Couture in the ring. Do not overlook this man's judo. Black belt in the Kodokan from Japan, and has great endurance. Trains with Maurice Smith, known for his endurance.
In Japanese, Tsuyoshi means brave man. And that is one brave man. We saw him show all his guts in the loss to Boss Rutten. And he returns, does TK, to the octagon for the first time since 1999.
Yep.
Now entering the octagon is a Machado Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert and a wrestling and kickboxing expert with a mixed martial arts record of 8-1-0. Standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 250 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Please welcome Rico Suloev Rodriguez.
Rico Rodriguez sporting the Fairtex vest. We've seen him several times in the octagon, and each time he improves he's a submission wrestling champion. He improves those stand-up skills. And he says his endurance is improved. Training and boxing with Don House. And of course, that man on the right of your screen, UFC champ, Tito Ortiz.
The light heavyweight champion in the corner, Team Punishment, represented tonight by Rico Suave Rodriguez. He has been vocal prior to this fight, as usual, but he wants to back it up and move to 4-0. Tail of the tape, Rodriguez against TK. TK is 8 years older. Rodriguez has a reach advantage. He comes in just under 250 pounds. Maurice Smith told me to watch out for the new and improved TK guard. This is a great matchup in the heavyweight division. TK Tsuyoshi Kosaka. Extremely popular in Japan, extremely well respected around the world. The heart of a lion, and the fans have traveled overseas to support TK Tsuyoshi Kosaka. Josh Barnett in the corner of Kosaka. Team synergy with Maurice Smith. John McCarthy will be our referee in this matchup. Maurice doing a little house cleaning as Kosaka gets set. Mo will do it all. And there's Rodriguez.
All right, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on. Come on, guys. Show your stuff.
Rico has been a headliner here recently for many of his statements. He wants to make a statement here inside the octagon tonight.
And TK with a takedown. Wanted to go for that throw. Rodriguez looking to make his impact in the heavyweight division. Frank Mir sitting alongside us. Also in that division, and Rodriguez gets himself to his feet and a big knee to the midsection.
Now Rodriguez has defeated Orlovsky, Pete Williams, and Jeff Monson. One by referee stoppage, two by TKO, so really all by TKOs. And Rodriguez, a self-promoter, there's no question about that. What a likable guy is. Oh, down TK. Big time throw there against the judo expert.
Very impressive. Good wrestling.
And how's that for a twist of styles there? Rodriguez had him at his feet about 3 feet off the air, landing viciously on the ground.
Rodriguez is so well trained and so experienced from training in Tokyo with Sakuraba and being the only American member of the Takata Dojo team, to Tito and Chuck Liddell, and look at him try to work here. TK looking for an arm of Rodriguez to Mark Kerr, and then the Machado brothers now in Las Vegas.
With a big weight advantage, and he utilizes that weight. There's a forearm shot in the face of Kosaka. Watch, he'll push off on the face and just let it roll down with that forearm.
Rico says he's definitely looking for a submission. Former Abu Dhabi champion. Beat O'Gara there on one of the occasions his trip overseas when he tapped. So we know his submissions are excellent.
Looking for the Americana. Top wrist lock.
Kosaka is not a hard man to break. You have to wear him down, and look for that opening.
TK not utilizing the TK guard. Full mount now for Rico Rodriguez. Trying to get the arms inside to deliver some punishment from this member of Team Punishment.
Kosaka going for the leg lock. Rodriguez gets out.
Rodriguez wants to keep it down, and he comes right in on TK again.
A little unorthodox move there from TK to escape the mount. Almost looked like he put his foot in danger, and in turn he went for Rico's foot. Impressively got out of the mount, but now he's in the side, cross side.
Only loss in his mixed martial arts career. Rodriguez, that is, was the first fight of his career against Bobby Hoffman. He's reeled off 8 straight victories since. Looking for arm. Does he have it? TK spins out of it. That was so close.
He is notorious for those beautiful escapes, and that is a prime example of don't count Kosaka out.
You could see the grimace on the face of Kosaka.
A lot of impressive escapes tonight when it comes to submissions, aren't we?
Well, you brought up Houdini early. Some part of him or his aura is in this building tonight, Frank.
That was a very tight arm bar, done textbookly correct, and somehow TK found a way to jump over the leg and come up and reverse it.
Good round one for Rico Rodriguez.
I think the weight is definitely going to come into play. Rodriguez great at basing himself out, utilizing his weight. Sometimes it could feel like 500 pounds is on you instead of 250.
Now, Kosaka's conditioning always one of his advantages. I think TK might, in the back of his mind, think survive early and try to work what could be a fatigued Rico Rodriguez. But Rico, tireless here.
Full mount.
First round so far. TK showing some flexibility there, trying to get out of the full mount, but could not do so.
Oh.
Rodriguez delivers a bomb.
He's looking for the arm bar. Here we go.
Rico loves submissions. So at a time where you think he might just ground and pound, that not the case. And look at TK try to spin out of it again, and he does. Great flexibility by Kosaka. And TK with combination.
Party with the right. He's got to watch out because Rodriguez threw him from here just a few minutes ago.
Not that time. At least the first attempt.
And be careful expending all of that energy. It takes a lot to lift a man like Kosaka off the ground.
Now the round's going to conclude. Rodriguez should get many of the votes. Online scoring, www.ufc.tv.
Good recovery from Kosaka.
Really good job. Really good job. You want some water?
Definitely going to be able to test Kosaka's endurance here.
All right. Good job.
Pretty much all the first round, he ended up underneath of a very much larger opponent than him.
Good job, baby. You're doing good. You're doing really good. Hey, when you get the mount, when you try to point your head over, scoot your head forward. Come on, top, over the fucking elbows. You know how Tanner does it? How he comes over the top? Same
This
deal.
is UFC high impact, not UFC throwdown, isn't it?
breath.
Looked like UFC throwdown a moment ago, though.
Either one of those works when it comes to this. You see Kosaka, this is where he likes to be, but Rico picks him up and just launches him with a big slam. And here's that beautiful escape. Spins completely the opposite way, tucks his head back through, and gets to his knees. Incredible.
TK, though, looks no worse for the wear here after round one. Rodriguez taking the 60 seconds to recover. Good first round for Rico Rodriguez. Round two.
Oh, good takedown by Rodriguez. You would think the longer this fight goes, that it would favor the lighter Kosaka. Kosaka is known, he can go just as long as you want to. That's going to be a big advantage for him, and Rico's got to carry that extra weight around.
Now that Washington Institute.
Looking good, looking good.
That Maurice Smith and TK and much of the team synergy fighters work out in. World renowned for the ability to give them that little bit of an advantage with their conditioning.
Kosaka, a little bit of, nice sweep. But recovery from Rodriguez, and there's a combo.
And another one by TK. Rodriguez wanted nothing to do with the stand-up game there.
Which actually, I have to tell you, kind of surprises me. He's worked extensively on his stand-up for him to, maybe he sees really an advantage that he wants to exploit on the ground rather than going for anything on the up top.
You know, most fighters love the knockout. They want that big hit. They want that highlight reel, if you will. For Rico Rodriguez, that can be said, but I think in Rico's mind, and I've talked to him about it extensively, a great armbar or a leg lock or a choke, he sees that as his version of the knockout.
I have to agree there. I'm also in the same line of thought as Rico, being primarily a strong jiu-jitsu background and influence in my own fight game. So to me, a submission is definitely more exciting than the knockout.
It's as glamorous as you said, if not more so.
I think it takes a little more skill to lock an opponent up, a little more technique, more placement, more timing. I've seen people get lucky and knock someone out. I've never seen anybody get lucky in trying something.
Great point. Let's listen into the corner of Tito Ortiz.
Rain forearms. Rain the forearms down. Rico. On it. Drop it. Forearms. Rico, forearms. One after another. One after another. Punish him. Come on, Rico. That's it. That's it. Come on, work. Again, Rico.
Tito calling for the forearms. Rico trying to drain some in on TK.
Work the eye. Keep it up.
Looked like Rico's going for his face smother there. Really does not really submit a lot of opponents, but will drain a lot of life out of you. You can't breathe for 5-6 seconds when this style of a fight, and you're going to feel it.
And those forearms are taking their toll on the right side, or the left side rather, of Tsuyoshi Kosaka's face. You know, we spoke of submissions ago. In some organizations such as Shudo in Japan, submissions, catches as they're called, you get the arm fully extended or a choke and just, oh, there's some forearms. If you get a submission closely, it's just as good as a knockdown in boxing.
There's some raining of rights and lefts. Rodriguez, Kosaka trying to defend. McCarthy right on top of the action. Still plenty of time. Can Kosaka intelligently defend himself? Or Rodriguez, and he does! Rico Rodriguez is 4-0!
Stay up there. Good job.
Another TKO for Rico Rodriguez.
Good morning, Ethan. Thank you. We're getting him in for some stitches.
Now Rico has talked about title shots. And talked, as he will admit, about title shots. We don't have a thank you, sir.
Yeah,
He uses
right
expression
there.
all the time.
Right
He
there.
talked the talk, you got to walk the walk. He ran again, didn't he, Jeff?
He's doing it. I mean, Kosaka, a very resilient fighter, was giving Rico a lot of trouble throughout that. Once he got that dominant position and started raining the forearm shots and raining the punches down, here we see it went square on the chin. Kosaka continually defending himself, trying to buck him forward, buck him off, but to no avail, as there you see it. And Big John right in on top of the action, stops it. Another look at it. Shot after shot. Although he is defending himself in the best interest of the fighter, Big John McCarthy steps in, breaks it up, and we have a winner in Rico Rodriguez.
He is 4-0 inside the octagon. For the official word, the veteran voice of the UFC, Mr. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has stopped this contest at 3 minutes, 25 seconds of the second round. For the winner, Rico Suloev Rodriguez. Let's have a big hand for Tsuyoshi Kosaka.
And there is that respect. I don't think that kind of respect is seen in any other sport than the sport of mixed martial arts. They'll go out and have a drink later tonight and call it a game.
You got that right. Rico Rodriguez, the victor, is upstairs with Ryan Bennett.
All right, guys, he is undefeated. Rico Rodriguez, another win, another impressive win. Not many guys have ever finished TK. Rico, tonight is your night. You finished him. What a big honor must be for you tonight.
Guys, I just want to say thank you, TK, for taking this fight. He's truly an unbelievable fighter. He's fought all the best champions, only lost to them. But real quick, I'm going to thank all my sponsors. I want to thank everyone who helped me for this fight. John Lewis, JSEC, Mark Lehman, Marvin Eastman, Saul Solis, Machado Brothers, Tito Ortiz, Fairtex, Bob Carmel, Renaissance Personal Training, Colin Oyama, and most of all, my big boy, Don House.
We'll leave anybody out. We're okay? Okay. Let's talk about this fight. A big slam in the first round. You almost had the arm bar, and then he came back. How'd you finish him?
I just knew that he was awesome at submissions, and I knew that he was so slippery and so technical. It was hard to get it, and he was so devastating. But right here, I just worked the elbows. You can see, I knew that I could get the mount. I knew my mount was devastating, and I just knew if I teed off right, I'd get it.
Rico, what's next now, man? You're undefeated in the octagon. I know you feel like you're ready for that title shot.
Come on, everyone knows it's me and Couture in July. I'll see you guys there. You'll watch me live, because that belt is mine, and it's on lease, and I'm owning the son of a bitch.
There you go, Rico Rodriguez. He wins tonight. Mike, back to you.
Well, Frank Mir, your thoughts to that comment?
He's definitely paying his dues. That's what I'm up there doing right now. He's 4 fights into the UFC. I'm 2 fights. He's definitely going to be the first one to get a title shot, and rightfully so. Undefeated, beaten some decent opponents. Kosaka is definitely not a pushover. Very respectable win.
And he adjusted his style. He wanted that submission, as we talked about. He knew, as he said, TK was slippery, Jeff, and so he said, you know what? I'll go ahead and ground and pound, and that ended up being the decisive factor.
Yeah, why risk it? If a guy's slippery, often, you know, when you train, you get sweaty, you train a long period of time, you slip out of things. If you don't have it, don't go for it, and work with what you have, and that is what Rico did.
Well, 4 great fights in the books, and 4-0 is Rico Rodriguez as he exits the octagon. Coming up next, tonight's main event, the title fight between the champion Murilo Bustamante and the undefeated challenger Matt "The Law" Lindland. UFC Middleweight Championship on the line right here at UFC High Impact.
UFC 37 is brought to you by Gordon Bierce Brewing Company. Beer like it ought to be. By Century Tel Center in Bossier City, Louisiana. And by Crave Entertainment, publishers of UFC video games for the Xbox video game system from Microsoft. And coming this June for the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system and Nintendo GameCube system.
Now, a great night here in Bossier City, Louisiana, as we are in the Deep South, and Rico Rodriguez has shown the depth of his skills once again, but now it's time to turn our attention to the featured matchup. We welcome you back octagon side. Mike Wilbert with you on this UFC, and tonight is the night where Matt Lindland hopes to prove that truly in life, the third time is a charm, as Lindland has a chance to once again become a world champion. He finished second in the Olympic Games. He finished second in wrestling in the World Championships. He wants to be first, and he wants to be the man with his arm raised tonight. When he gets finished, he hopes, with Murilo Bustamante. Let's check out our middleweight contenders. Bustamante, of course, at the top of the list right now. Our contenders are ranked by Full Contact Fighter magazine. You see Bustamante, Jeff, and Matt Lindland. We cannot leave out Dave Mene.
There are many guys moving their way up. Mene is still in there. He's recovering with an injury. Paulo Filho, Minowa of Pancrase, and tonight we have seen Phil Baroni, Ivan Suloev. The list could go on of fighters coming up in this 185-pound division.
Well, the 185-pound division, Frank, we've seen some great action tonight. Is an impressive one indeed.
That it is. It's stacked. There's a lot of fighters in that division right now that are definitely making their mark. Like I said earlier tonight, we've seen Phil Baroni devastating, destroying Suloev. We also seen a very slick Ivan Suloev. Awesome submission attempts. And I'm really not counting out Simonov just at this point. He impressed me even in defeat. A lot of players in the game. It makes it very interesting.
Yeah, we had some very big matchups on the card this evening prior to coming on live that time permitting, and I think we're going to have the time. We'll be able to show you tonight. So not just our main event lies ahead, but some great action that took place earlier tonight here in Bossier City. Suloev, one of the men that Frank was talking about. So we'll look forward to bringing you that action. But now we focus our attention on the opportunity that lies ahead for Matt Lindland and the opportunity to defend for Murilo Bustamante, the proud Brazilian who really did not want to bring his belt overseas again because he might not be able to take it home. But you know what? In his heart, he wants to take it home. Matt Lindland set to take on Murilo Bustamante. Middleweight championship of the UFC is on the line. As a 4-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu absolute national champion and former Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, Murilo Bustamante has always set goals high for himself and then surpassed them. With a 10-1-1 mixed martial arts record, he claimed the UFC middleweight belt with a knockout of Dave Mene at UFC 35 Throwdown. Now, in his first title defense, Bustamante is looking to prove he belongs at the top of the UFC, and he's out to confirm his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighting style can outfight any opponent.
I train hard all the time. I train boxing, I train grappling, I train jiu-jitsu a lot, and I train some takedowns, all kinds of techniques.
For Bustamante, his opponent is not just any fighter. He's the silver medalist from the Sydney Olympic Games, wrestler Matt "The Law" Lindland. And Lindland has been charging up the ranks of the UFC with a vengeance. Taking out respected fighters has become second nature to Lindland. He's handed defeats to Anjo, Baroni, and former UFC champion Pat Miletich. For Lindland, this is his chance to shine in the octagon and walk out a champion.
Murillo Bustamante is he's an interesting fighter. He's got great submissions, and more recently I've seen his stand-up is pretty good. I mean, he's knocked some guys out, and I thought that was a big fight for him to beat Dave Monet.
It's amazing. I don't know. It's like a dream. All my life, I try to change, take one belt of the Ultimate, and now tonight I'm gonna do my best.
I enjoy it. I think this is fun. I mean, getting in a cage and shutting the door behind you, and just getting in there and competing. It's a lot of fun.
I'm ready. I know.
Up next, the fight of the night. Matt Lindland versus Murillo Bustamante for the Ultimate Fighting Championship middleweight title.
Just to clarify, Murillo Bustamante certainly is not afraid to fight. In fact, he loves to fight. He looks forward to the challenge tonight. When I talked about him not wanting to bring the belt, it's quite simple. He cherishes that belt. He loves that belt so much, he does not want to lose it. You know what? He doesn't have to lose it. What he needs to do, though, tonight to keep it is defeat Matt "The Law" Lindland. My question to you, Jeff Osborne, can he do that?
He has the tools to do it. Jiu-jitsu versus wrestling, but it's not only jiu-jitsu and wrestling. There's boxing skills that have came out of both men. Lindland's ability to finish has excelled like more than any of the other wrestlers, and Bustamante, I don't know what could come out of this guy. I thought he was just a jiu-jitsu guy.
Now, he said at one point, Jeff, 100% Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but as you said, top of the show, it is more than that, Frank. It's 100% Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and then another 100% boxing ability. But with Matt Lindland, I mean, this is his time again. This is his chance. You talked about it top of the show. What can he do? What does he need to do to neutralize Bustamante and walk out finally a world champion?
Take him out of his element. I mean, if you can control where the pace of the fight is going to be, then you can control where you want it to be, and that's what Lindland is going to have to exploit. The fact that he is going to be the stronger man in the clinch and decide whether this fight will go to the ground or decide maybe this fight will stand up. Where he wants to be, I might not know. Bustamante seems to be a very dangerous striker, and as we all know, a legend on his way in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Awesome submission artist.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's really a chess match, really a great matchup, and what Frank said is true, because it's interesting. Matt Lindland has said, tonight I want to impose my style on my opponent, and if he's able to do that, he could pull off the victory. If not, Murillo Bustamante will wear the Brazilian flag proudly around his shoulders at the end of a potential 25 minutes one more time and keep that belt in which he cherishes so much. We have come to the time of the night for the title fight in the middleweight division here in Bossier City, Louisiana. Lindland and Bustamante.
And the role of the challenger will be played by Lindland. He is hoping that second place does not happen as it's had in the Olympics. Tonight, he has a test ahead of him. Does he want to take Murillo to the ground? Does Murillo want to stand? we will see in just a few moments. An Olympic silver medalist likes to work in the clinch. He's been very effective, and now his will to win is greater than ever.
Now the sports books have Lindland the favorite, albeit by a slight margin, over Murilo Bustamante, who presently is the middleweight champion here at the UFC.
I'm going to ask you if you're asking, I'll tell you, let's get it out. Okay? Protect yourself at all times.
Murilo Bustamante, Jiu-Jitsu world champion, Jiu-Jitsu legend, but also he has a great set of hands on him, proving that by knocking out the champion Dave Manneh to gain the championship that he has now, that he is putting on the line to defend.
Murilo Bustamante had a finger that was infected on his right hand. Frank, will that finger be a factor in tonight's matchup?
I don't believe so. Finger injuries are not going to incorporate too much of a problem into his grip. As you can see, you have 4 fingers and a thumb. If he had a problem with his thumb, definitely a problem with his grip. But having only 1 finger injured, you have 3 more that'll easily take over and compensate. People have competed countless amount of times with a broken finger, broken toe, and all they do is tape it. As far as the pain is concerned, we all know that what you might feel when you're sitting down on your couch watching TV, you're not going to feel when you're inside the octagon.
And they tell us that Murilo Bustamante's finger is healed. We just wanted to give our fight fans the update on the condition of Bustamante. Tail of the tape championship fight here tonight. 35-year-old Murilo Bustamante against the 31-year-old Olympic silver medalist Matt "The Law" Lindland. A belt is on the line. For the official introductions for this, our featured matchup, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC championship bout is sanctioned by the Louisiana State Boxing Commission with Mr. Buddy Empinado Jr. and Mr. Alvin Topham, commissioners in charge. Our judges at Octagon side are Mr. Jeff Mullins, Mr. Nelson Hamilton, and Mr. Marcos Rosales. This event is sponsored by the Gordon Biersch Brewing Company. Beer like it ought to be. And now, it's time to rock the octagon. This fight is 5 rounds for the UFC Middleweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, the challenger. Standing to my left, he is a wrestling expert and a USA silver medalist in the 2000 Olympics. He holds a record in mixed martial arts of 7-0-0. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Eagle Creek, Oregon, please welcome Matt "The Law" Lindland. And now, introducing the fighter standing to my right. He is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert with a mixed martial arts record of 10-1-1. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He is the UFC Middleweight Champion of the World. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Murilo Bustamante. And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Big John McCarthy.
Will the third time be a charm, or will Bustamante prove once again
that he is a champion.
Middleweight championship of the world. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on!
Here we go. Scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. The clinch is what Lindland likes the most. Clinch and then hit with the knees, the arms, and everything. Or will he look to go to his basis of wrestling? There's that clinch, though. Anytime he can close the quarters and Frank use the fence.
Definitely, it's another facet to the game that he's using to help him out. His opponent can't back his hips out, which also help you with the takedown.
Score tonight's fight, fans at home watching at UFC.tv. Will our judges be forced to render a decision? Or will one of these men score a submission or a knockout? Referee stoppage.
And the obvious favorite as far as the clinch game is going to go is going to be Matt Lindland. Does he want to take Murillo to the ground? That's where it's not safe for him to go. He's controlling the body, controlling Bustamante on the fence. And a couple of short shots there. Now Murillo switching up.
Definitely, though, if Lindland gets his takedown, he's going to want it to be toward the edge.
Good takedown by Bustamante.
This might be a problem. Fighting off his back is not going to, we're going to see what Matt Lindland has to offer.
I'm amazed once again. Bustamante wrestling the wrestler. He boxed the boxers. I am impressed.
Impressive individual.
Now, when he talked about 100% Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, one theory, one question, is this 94? One man said, is that like bringing a knife to a gunfight? Well, you know what? He's got a whole arsenal of weapons. Does Murillo Bustamante.
And one thing we also mentioned today as we talked amongst each other is Lindland puts himself in dangerous positions. You can't do that against a guy like Murillo. He will capitalize on the arm bars.
Definitely that being the case. Bustamante, if he gets it halfway, he will sink it in. That is his profession. That is what he's good at. That's what he was raised as, a submission artist. Great jiu-jitsu guy. If he gets halfway there, it's going to be a problem for Matt Lindland.
Murillo's got to work his left leg past the legs of Lindland. Lindland just holding on, probably hoping that this fight gets stood up once again, where he can work his clinch.
I see Bustamante going straight to a mount from this position.
If he gets it, that will definitely be interesting to see what Lindland has to offer while being dominated for a chance.
We know he is extremely well versed in submissions too, Jeff. I apologize. Murillo Bustamante, 7 times Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu national champion.
Oh, look out, armbar coming out.
Does he have it?
It's straight.
Does he have it?
It's straight.
There it is. It's over. No, wait. No. No, you're fine. Hold on.
Stop. Time, you're fine. It's your corner. Come on to your corner.
To the corner.
You're fine,
Bustamante
you're fine.
thought Lindland had tapped.
Oh.
McCarthy says you're fine. That was also
His
close.
hand was going to the thing. I apologize. His hand's going to the thing. Put your hand, put your mouthpiece back
And
in.
that may have
Put your
cost
mouthpiece
Murillo
back
this
in.
fight.
Can't. Your
I
hand was
am
going to
not
start
sure
to
what
tap on
happened.
him, all right? Your hand was going to start to tap. I'm letting the fight go. I'm letting the fight go.
All right, John explained it. He said your hand was going to tap.
Let's go. We're going to start.
Letting it go. He's going to let him go.
Here we go.
Well, no reason to believe that Bustamante can't put him back in that position. You see the disappointment on the face of Murillo Bustamante. That would have been a quick armbar finish by submission.
Mentally, I'm sorry, Mike, that plays a bad mental game against Bustamante. He thought he won. He's already done fighting, and now he has to go back in and fight again in his mind.
I am thoroughly confused. I have no idea what happened.
His arm was fully extended. From our vantage point, we couldn't see if there was a tap happening or what happened.
Now Lindland shook his head. I wasn't tapping. Of course, what do you expect his reaction to be? But right now the action continues, and that's what Murillo Bustamante has to understand. This fight is continuing. He's got to work through that momentary disappointment and try to get himself back into an advantage position.
This might not sound the greatest, but I got to tell you, from a jiu-jitsu man's point of view, if I straighten your arm once and you dispute the cap, the second time you're not going to have time to tap. I'll make sure that there is no doubt that your arm was taken.
Don't give up the move until the referee tells you to give up that move.
You go, you go.
Murillo's being a good guy. You can't really fault him for the fact that he's not out there to maul somebody. But then again, you expect everybody to go ahead and be honorable in the same system.
I understand exactly what you're saying. And Royce Gracie talked about the same thing. And we take the Legends of the Octagon show with Royce. I got you, tap.
You don't tap, you're going to be in trouble.
That's right. So let's see if he can get back to that position, though, because right now, here's the clinch, and a throw attempt unsuccessful, but Lindland trying to do his work now.
Pushing Murillo in against the fence. This is where Murillo came off and got the takedown on Lindland before. Not much time left. And quite a very controversial first round.
Indeed. Gives him a tap of class, though, and McCarthy will talk to him for a second. He's obviously still a bit shaken up by the hat. And all his cornermen and his supporters here are just talking about what we talked about, Jeff. Now you've got to understand that decision is in the past. Move on and fight on. You still have an opportunity to win this fight.
Get over your mindset. Don't stay in that mindset that, oh man, I just won this fight, but something's happened. You got to get over it and move on. Look at this. Lindland using his wrestling. Hops over into a bad position, leg over, arm extended.
Man, it's hard to tell.
I
don't think he did tap. Now watch the slow-mo, or was he reaching for his hand position?
And then there's a controversy of how many taps counts as a tap. Not sure. Looked as though he definitely had it in his mind he was thinking about.
But the only reason why he got out of that arm bar was because of John McCarthy interfering.
Now that's correct.
Regardless whether he tapped or not, if McCarthy hadn't interfered, the arm would have been broken.
All right, online scoring round one. A slight advantage given to Murillo Bustamante. Our fans around the world, thanks for participating, UFC.tv. Stay with us as Lindland tries to work the clinch. And he goes another takedown, wrestling the wrestler again.
What is this guy? Boxer, jiu-jitsu, and taking down a takedown master like Matt Lindland. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, his bio needs to be updated because he is more than Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
I really feel that Bustamante is going to go back for the mount in this position.
Oh, the reversal.
He's going to push him into his guard.
Definitely. He's going to either go for the back or come up for a sweep at this point.
Second round, 5 are scheduled. 5 minutes in duration.
Keep in mind that the hardest job in this business is being a referee. He has the well-beings of those fighters put into his hands. If he sees one is in danger, he's going to react.
Here's Lindland in the top position, but in the guard. Much more comfortable there than he is on his back. And now Lindland happy to bring it back to the feet. Not so much to strike, but to work his Greco skills. Bustamante doesn't mind throwing punches. And doesn't mind this position either.
Using the hooks with his feet, opening up a guard, looking for sweeps.
Oh, some people criticize a jiu-jitsu guy for going to his back, but hey, right, go where you're comfortable. If you want to take me down, come and do it. But if Murillo wants to be on his back, Lindland's got to avoid being put there.
Hey, criticizing a jiu-jitsu guy for going to his back is like criticizing the Chicago Bears for giving the football to Walter Payton in the backfield. You go with your strengths. And here's the clinch. And Bustamante didn't stay in it long. Really lift him and try to deliver some punishment here, Frank.
No, before that, Bustamante made a correct decision to go ahead and jump guard.
Yep.
Lindland had double underhooks and could have gone for a little bit of elevation on that throw. Only disadvantage of that was the cage is right behind him. Definitely right now, even though he's in the jiu-jitsu man's guard, that cage is going to play in the favor of Matt Lindland.
And we spoke of Lindland putting himself in dangerous positions. He was extending his arms moments ago with Murillo. You'll see good wrestlers' hip movement and jiu-jitsu hip movement are not the same thing, but these two guys are definite masters of getting out of dangerous positions.
Now Lindland, so decorated a wrestler for so many years, training exclusively in mixed martial arts only since last December.
And Murillo, a nice succession of 2 right hands. Looked like it ticked Lindland off a little.
Now there's definitely been some looks here in this round of disgust towards each other. Competitiveness indeed. But the looks have changed in the eyes of these two. The left almost connected there. Lindland loves to use the knees though in the clinch.
But as you can see, Bustamante's looking for that knee. If Lindland goes for the knee to the face with his left leg, Bustamante's going to underhook it and elevate him again for another slam.
He's taken him down twice already. Murillo Bustamante, our champion. 1:15 remains in round number 2.
Question is, can these guys go 5 rounds?
I think yes.
Could be in for a long night for both.
Oh, big right there by Murillo Bustamante. Lindland's okay though. Bustamante, a pro-level boxer in Brazil as a youth. And again, he looks for the right.
And can't walk in with his hands down like that.
He kind of ducks under, doesn't he, Jeff?
And he came back and threw 2 of his own.
There's the underhooks, but he couldn't latch it on. Under 30 seconds remains in our second round. Another right glances the chin of Matt Lindland. Shaking that one off. Bustamante. Impressive striking skills being displayed in the latter part of this round. Does he have a more diversified game, Murillo Bustamante, than the challenger Matt Lindland? It would appear through 10 minutes, Jeff.
Yeah, it's like they said Tito wouldn't be tested until he takes on another wrestler, and I mean, he dominated Vladimir Matyashenko, and Murillo, man, 2 big takedowns.
Yeah. Step right.
Rushing into the man. But Lindland again recovers and regains
Hey, you
control.
need to do a little more punching on your way out.
An interested spectator
Clears.
here tonight, Carlos Newton, who will try to win back that welterweight belt against Matt Hughes in our brawl at the Hall in London, England, Saturday, July 13th. Hughes is also here in attendance tonight.
A couple of months away, and from what I hear, tickets are selling pretty quickly in the UK.
Our friends at Sky TV showing a weekly series of UFC fights. We're excited to head to the UK, excited to be on live tonight in Japan, and excited about this matchup. Matt Lindland, Murillo Bustamante.
And this is where the game gets interesting halfway through.
Here we go. Let's get on. Come on.
Bustamante seemed to be very comfortable in his striking at the end of that second round.
Matt Lindland seems to be bleeding a little bit from his nose. Could be a testament to that.
Bustamante is going to take the center of the ring there, Frank, and really try to force the action, it seems.
That, and also because if a takedown does happen as the jiu-jitsu guy in the middle of the ring, you don't have really the cage to attest for. You can go ahead and work more a little bit freely.
And that was a heated exchange there. Both popping back and forth, throwing heavy leather.
Down goes Lindland. Combination by Bustamante. Now he's going to try to finish it. Lefts and rights raining in on Matt Lindland. Can Lindland recover? Can he survive?
Bustamante needs to go for a guard pass at this point. His opponent's dazed.
Lindland is hurt.
Continuing to try to force the stoppage. Lindland. Bustamante still taking the action to Matt Lindland. Murillo Bustamante, a chance to finish it here.
There we go, guard pass.
Oh.
Punish him.
Very, very nice, and his arm was trapped momentarily, but look, Lindland with a takedown.
He is in the guillotine, though.
Yep.
Bustamante has the guillotine. Arms looks like it's trapped. Still working the guillotine.
There's the tap. It's all over.
Whoa.
The guillotine was the submission official this time. And Murillo Bustamante
belt. He can pack the belt up, take it right back home.
What a champion. I'm sitting here smiling on my face because I can't believe what I've seen. Lindland has shown, I mean, unbelievable improvement over the last several fights he's had. And Bustamante, man, I am greatly, greatly impressed with his skills all the way around.
Bustamante did everything we said he was going to do tonight and more. You've seen jiu-jitsu. Had an arm straight, went through sweeps, jumped guard, ended up winning the fight on a submission using the guillotine. The hands that we spoke about were what set it up, dropping Matt Lindland with a powerful right hand, and even out-wrestled the wrestler, in my opinion.
I guess tonight he could be called the criminal because he broke the law. Hate to use a cliche like that, but...
Although it was a good one.
Man.
And disappointment, once again, for Matt Lindland in his attempt to be a world champion.
Let's take a look at what transpired. Oh, a short, powerful right. Sends him to the ground. He is dazed. And Murillo tries to capitalize. A couple of forearms. And here is that guillotine you spoke of, Frank.
Again,
cinches it in.
It is tight. He has the arm, but he's still positioned the left arm around the throat. Good, sharp technique. Jumping guard to secure his opponent, create the base. The right arm is trapped, can't defend. All it's left to do is to tap, as we see there.
And that was a definitive tap and a definitive ending to tonight's championship fight. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 1 minute 33 seconds of the third round due to a tap out from a guillotine choke. For the winner, and still a UFC middleweight champion of the world, Murilo Bustamante. Let's have a big hand for Matt Lindland.
He overcame the disappointment of the controversy in round one, and he won by submission in round three. Murilo Bustamante retains the middleweight belt. Ryan Bennett.
All right, guys, we are with Matt Lindland. Matt, tough fight for you in that first round. I tell you what, it seemed like you were trying to control him. Everybody wants to know, did you tap in that first round?
No, I started to roll, and I went like this to roll, and I mean, my hand moved one time. And I think he stopped, and then John stopped it, but it wasn't, maybe it would have been, but it wasn't at that time.
Matt, were you surprised how strong Murillo was? Because, I mean, you're a guy that's really went through everybody, but it seemed like you just had a tough time controlling him.
He's got good position, and he's definitely strong. He's a big guy at that weight class.
Matt, what's up for you? I know it's tough to swallow a loss. This is your first loss in the octagon. Is it one of those things you just got to go back to the drawing board and start all over again?
Start over, I don't think, but keep improving. Close, but you know, it happened today for him, and hopefully next time I can do it.
Matt Lindland, very classy in defeat. Let's bring in the champion. He is still the champion, folks. Murilo Bustamante joins us right now. Now, Murilo, you're a striker all of a sudden. I tell you what, man, you're supposed to be the submission guy. I keep seeing these outstanding strikes to finish fights.
I'd like a special thanks for my boxer coach, Claudio Coelho, because he's trained me in Brazil very hard. But I like to fight on the feet. And thanks for my team, Brazilian top team, for supporting me. My manager, my partners, Bebel and Libório. And for me, it's a dream back here. And won the great fighter like Matt Lindland. He's a warrior. For me, he's a dream. Thank you a lot.
Merle, let's show the first round to you. Everybody thought, a lot of people in the building thought that you made him tap. Let's show you it. Take me through it right here on the Jumbotron.
I thought the fight is over there, but it's okay. No worries again. I'm very happy again, and I'll be back.
You will be back, no doubt about it.
I hope so. I'm gonna die here.
Finally, you made no doubt about it in this later round. Like I said, your striking's been so incredible. You're known as a submission guy, but you're so well-rounded. Just take me through that. What did you see that you knew you could land that strong right hand?
I training boxing since was a kid, and now I train more boxing in Brazil, but I ever likes to fight on the feet. That's it. Thank you a lot.
He's got the belt, folks. No doubt about it. Murilo Bustamante is the best in the world at 185. Back to you guys.
Well, Ryan, thank you very much, and our congratulations goes to Murilo Bustamante. Matt Lindland, truly an honest guy, a credible and respectable competitor. And if he says he didn't tap, I think most of us should believe that. I think all of us should believe that. And Bustamante said no problems. He got what he wanted, and that was the submission. Fight fans, stick around. You're going to get what you want, and that is more great action inside the octagon. Robbie Lawler and Aaron Riley fought earlier tonight. Andrei Semenov and Ivan Saliveri fought earlier tonight. As Frank Mir talked about, we'll show you some of the great action that took place before we came on the air. Still ahead, but right now, not one but two belts around the body and the waist of Murilo Bustamante, our middleweight champion.